not a requirement, but I did take some time, I'd say about 6 months, to really get a sense of, going from one grad school and changing gears altogether. I did take some time in between. And in that time, I went on to volunteermatch.com. And what that does is it gives you a little survey of the things you're interested and passionate about, as well as your location. And I found a few volunteer gigs. I volunteered at a crisis hotline online at the time. This is way before COVID. We're talking about like 8 years ago, um, at a center called Rain and Incest National Network. And it gave me about 40 hours of free training and about a few months of online counseling. It was more like, setting up people who were in crisis with the right resources. But that gave me a little bit of a flavor of what it might be like to connect with people when they're at a point of vulnerability and crisis. And it was tough, right? I wouldn't necessarily jump into crisis right away to volunteer, but I think that experience, along with knowledge, gives us wisdom. So you can take your experience from school and your knowledge from school, but also have hands-on experience and get a sense, again, remember to listen to your body, of what that feels like, what resonates with you. Is there something you want to know more about? Do you feel energized or do you feel depleted? Like, volunteer work, although we don't get paid, there's so much value to that. So think about value not just in monetary terms, but in practical terms for the future. And having volunteer work, I think everybody likes to see that on the resume as like, oh, you took initiative, integrity, you're interested in it. So it's okay, jump into something. If it doesn't work out, there's actually plenty of time, and you don't have to know what you want to do for the rest of your life today. Remember that it's also allowing joy and experience and adventure in your life to find that.
Thank you for that.
You're
I was
welcome.
also wondering, after you did complete the health counseling or the mental health counseling program at Brooklyn College, how shortly or how long thereafter were you able to find employment in the field?
Great question. At the time, it was really hard for people to find internships. But times have changed, right? I don't think people have that much of a shortage in slots right now. Everybody's looking for a mental health professional. I was actually hired and I started interning before I even left Brooklyn College. Because what I did was I started reaching out to community clinics, graduate programs, schools, and introducing myself and saying, you know, keep me in mind. So don't be afraid to make connections. Don't be afraid to use Instagram. There are so many clinics. There are so many patients um, also using Instagram. It's almost like a directory, right? So you can use LinkedIn, you can use Instagram to kind of get a sense of who's out there and what they're doing. You actually get to see people from a different perspective. If someone's doing private practice, do they have the same mission or values as you? Like, yeah, connect as much as you can. And that's the one thing I wish I knew back then is that it's okay to connect. It's okay to put yourself out there. You don't have to know everything. It's just nice to not do it alone, too.
Make sure to check out the My Career tab on the BC Navigator app, where you can track your career progress based on the amount of credits you've earned, stay updated on upcoming events from the Magner Center, and watch our videos for insight and advice on your career field.